This is your host. If you're seeing this and you're going, what the hell just happened? Didn't I just see the same thing before? This is not a glitch. Well, it is a glitch. For some bizarre reason, we had some very weird technical difficulties, but that's the type of thing we're going to discuss on this show. And here's your host.com. So let me bring my co-host back in, my partner in crime. He is the man, the myth, the legend. By the way, if you're in Las Vegas and you have been watching any Cirque du Soleil shows in the last, I don't know, how long was it, RJ?
My show's been here 27 years. I've been here 9.
9 years, baby Francois, and
Easy for you to say.
it is not so easy for me to say. And I was there briefly for about 3.5 years doing Viva Elvis. Oh, thank you very much. That's where I learned that. So RJ, we were talking about a lot of different stuff and live streaming, and then all of a sudden we were dead streaming.
We
So
were dead streaming, yes.
you were talking about, which I love this subject because I'm sitting here looking at the screen, switching around my head, and I have to tell you, you with that Tom Selleck mustache and doing the creepy thing like this really scares me a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you that were on, I'm just going to go over it all over again. So if you heard it before, so what? I've been watching a lot of live streams this week as research for what I do, what we do here at andhere'syourhost.com. And I've written down a list of peeves or ideas or what have you. And I'm going to hit a peeve today that just drives me insane. It's when people don't have their camera or aren't looking at their camera when they're talking to their audience or their viewers. It drives me crazy. For instance, I'll tell you about my setup. My monitor is currently over here on my left. My camera is directly in front of me. I am want, W-O-N-T, want to do. I am want to look at the camera so I can talk to Will and our guest. But notice how my eye is off the lens and you guys completely lose interest. I can't do that. So what I've situated is I've put a small monitor up here next to my camera. And if you can see my hand, I'll back it up. It's right next to the lens of my camera. So if I'm looking at my camera and making love to the camera, as they used to say back in the old times, all I have to do is simply glance over at my monitor to see what's going on. It's really very simple. That way, my head's not moving back and forth. I'm not losing focus. I'm not looking down. I'm not looking up. I'm looking right at the camera, and I'm making eye contact with you, the viewer, and you will be making eye contact with your viewers. Another tip I want to give you is if you're not using a standalone camera and you're using a webcam that's attached to your camera or integrated into your camera, if you place your laptop on a desk or a table in front of you, I'm going to turn away from my camera to show you what it looks like. If you're looking at I'll do it this way because I just realized that's bad form. If your laptop's down here and you're looking down here at the camera's shooting up your nose. It's shooting upward. It's it's a very not flattering look. So if you can raise your laptop up so it's at least your camera's at eye level, so you're making that contact again. Same thing with your desktop computer. If your camera's a little low, raise your monitor up. Or if you have a webcam that you attach to your camera, put it in a location where you can actually look at it and it's comfortable and you're not having to sit up too high or sit down too low or peer around things. That's my biggest pet peeve of the week, watching so many. I must have watched 50 live streams this week. I watch more live streams now than any person should ever watch. That's my tip.
That's your tip. Great tip. And I totally agree with you. I do have an item here. I don't think I have my webcam plugged in. I do not have it plugged in, but I have an item that goes on the top of, you have a DSLR, and I have not fixed it yet. And I have a nice 4K monitor that I have that records, and I will put it there because it is annoying when you kind of have to look down here. And I'm looking at the screen, talking to myself, and I'm like, who am I looking at? And, part of this exposure of what we're doing with live stream is about this. It's about making sure that people can see you, understand you, make sure you're clear, and you're speaking to the camera. So if you really want to give a heart-to-heart talk, he's right. You can't look down here. By the way, if you happen to be on my Instagram, it's actor Will Roberts. I am live streaming. Boy, we're doing well here. Go on to my profile link, if you can see, on actor Will Roberts, and you can click on it. It will take you right here to the live stream. Otherwise, you're just seeing this like green screen stuff, and that ain't legit. All right, back here. So I want to get right into the product because I know our person that's our guest has been waiting in the wings for some time. Ever. Hang tight. Here we go. All right. So here's the deal. If you're thinking about live streaming, or I don't care what it is, if you're using your computer and you're thinking you want to be a guest on somewhere like our guest is, or you happen to be doing your own thing, or you want to work with us and you want us to produce your show, I'm going to hang something up in the air and I want you to see it. Just like this. If you're a Mac user, you know what this is. It plugs into this one, has the air, I think it's called the Thunderbolt on it, but it also has this part, and this is part that's going to maybe look familiar, and that's called a an Ethernet connector. What I'm about to tell you is very simple, and I'm going to bring RJ into the scene here. What I'm about to tell you, hold on a second, is called Ethernet connection. And you don't want to do Wi-Fi if you can avoid it at all possible cost. And you certainly don't want to do cellular unless you just have like rocket fast cellular. But the consistency of that is so bad and so unpredictable. I don't know. You could be losing it, and it could be your golden opportunity to be on a show like this, and then boom, you're gone because you are on Wi Fi. So, I want to tell you that I highly recommend if you look at this, we did some research and looked at somebody saying this is kind of a neat thing because I'm got a 100-foot cord stretched and it's stretched across my room and it's plugged directly in on my, of course, my Ethernet cord. Now, the thing that's cool about that is that I don't have to worry about it. I'm connected. I feel secure. It's stable. You can get what you see on the screen right here. We did some research, and this is probably the one that's best rated right there. That's a UK plug. So don't get the UK plug if you're in the USA. But this type of thing like costs like 40, $50. Sometimes you can get them cheaper, but buyer beware. This one we found out is like number one, the Magic 2 Wi-Fi. It really allows you to plug it into a outlet, like a electrical outlet, and then go to your box where your internet is plugged in, the WAN and the service coming in through cable, and be able to hook up some things. Just send us an email. We'll help you if you don't get it. But it really allows you to do a Wi-Fi, I'm sorry, a LAN or I always get it wrong, Ethernet connection by just simply being able to go from one spot to another. Again, you're talking about a signal for those two, but it is more stable than doing Wi-Fi. So really quickly, RJ, I just want you to know that is my tip of the day is do not do Wi-Fi if you're trying to live stream and you want to be good, legit, and you want a solid product.
Right, and to elaborate more on the Wi-Fi versus Ethernet, the discrepancy between Wi-Fi and Ethernet, depending on how strong your internet is that's coming into your home, how strong your router is that you have,
Yeah.
your Wi-Fi could be 30, 40, sometimes 50% less powerful than an Ethernet connection.
Yeah.
Also, proximity to your router. I remember living at a house and I had one place for my cable connection to come in to plug my router into. And instead, and this was prior to these little plugs coming out, I had bought a 100-foot Ethernet cable and I spent an hour and a half stapling it to the floorboard around my living room, down the hallway, into my office.
Yeah, been there,
Yeah,
done that.
we've all done that. These plugs are great because all you have to do is if your router is located in a place in the house that is not convenient to plugging in your computer, which because you're using it for television or what have you, or you have it in a central location for your family, you plug one of these into the wall. You take your Ethernet cable from your router, plug it into there. You take the mate to it, and you plug it in wherever you are, and then you plug an Ethernet cable from your computer into that, and it's about 96% as fast as being directly plugged into an Ethernet cable.
Plus,
It's so much better than Wi-Fi.
one more added bonus on that, by the way, is a lot of these, I think even the one I showed you, have a Wi-Fi booster. So basically, that if your Wi-Fi, I use one called Nova, and it has three things around the house, and it'll boost it up, and you can get it because I've got 2 stories, and it's a mansion I live in. And it allows me to be able to push it around. So that is our tip for the week, our product of the week. You will find this on the website at some point soon. We put all this on there. Please make a comment, share it with whoever you like. And again, by all means, get a hold of us if you have any questions about that. But RJ, I think it's time to launch into the guest.
I am so excited about our guest. I got to see her yesterday in action, and I was blown away for a number of reasons. So, without any further ado, should you maybe like do an intro?
Well, you know what I can say, because yesterday she was on, of course, the Connie Fife show, and I gave her the best setup, the most professional, and the most legit of all the people she had on, and she had a lot on, and I for sure Natasha was the best. By the way, just let you know, Natasha, I love the name Natasha just because I think I grew up with Natasha and what's the name? The Bullwinkle. Who's the
You mean
Bullwinkle?
Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Yeah, Natasha.
And
Natasha.
Natasha and Boris?
Yeah, Natasha and Boris,
Yeah.
Natasha and the Boris. Anyway, without further ado, we're gonna bring it on. Here we go. Wait, that's us. Don't you
That's
go.
us.
Here we go. Three shots.
There she is.
Hi
Woo.
guys! You guys
Hi,
have me crying my
Natasha.
eyelashes off over here.
You what?
She's crying her eyelashes off. It's because we were so bad. We were so horrible. It was just like, oh, I cannot believe I'm doing this show with these two bozos.
I thought she said she was
It's
chewing
so
off her eyebrows.
fun.
Eyebrows, chewing up.
My eyelashes, darling. The lashes.
Lashes are the most important thing.
I need to look at guys. This is embarrassing. Look at me. Come on.
You guys are so fun.
I'm tired. I feel like I'm standing in second position the whole time. Anyway,
Natasha, do you know how many years Will and I have been working together? Take a guess. Take a wild guess.
20.
38.
What?
yeah, it's 105.
38
Come
years.
on.
It's 105 in dog life. Don't get it wrong.
Were you guys like babies? What's up? That's crazy. 38.
No, he's
stop.
officially 5 years older than me. I'm 51. He's 50. Do the math. But I was 16 when we met. He was 23. We were both professional clowns, believe it or not. And we met at a bar playing pool. Yeah, I love
professional clowns. That sounds like the start of a joke. Professional clowns.
It was a joke. Our life has been a joke for the last 38 years. It has been.
Really? So, oh wow! Wait, but so let's get into this. First of all, Natasha, you were on the show yesterday with Connie Fife, and by all means, your message is awesome. I want to talk about your message of love and what you do, but more importantly, can we just get a little background on you? Give us a little something about who you are.
Yes, I am that multi-passionate alpha female. I have lived in Los Angeles for the last, since 1997, and I am a life coach. I am an actress, a filmmaker, a mom, a wife, and I love Korean dramas. That sounds like I'm doing an ad for a dating app. But I spend most of my time coaching. I'm a life coach and a life and love coach because I have a heart for ambitious women and I want them to be able to enjoy life and I want them to be able to go after the goals that they want. I want them to be able to tap into their feminine energy because a lot of time in the world that we live in, male dominated, as I'm sandwiched between you guys, and we flow into our masculine energy so easily. And I'm just here to awaken that feminine goddess in women, so that they can design the life that they want because they're staying true to their authentic goals and really calling in confidence. Feminine energy is confidence.
I wonder what the rate would be if you had to do a session with us, because neither one of us have a life. So, life coach.
Yes. You said you wonder what the session. I actually, this year is my first year having a male client.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
And it's because the objective is to unleash that, goal that you may have had. And oftentimes people live lives where they're living it for other people and they might get married or they might be in relationships or they might be taking care of their family. So all of the goals that they had personally get kicked to the curb. And so I helped another client finish a book that has been on their list for a while. And this person saw that and they were like, I'm here for it. And so they are doing what they truly want to be doing. And I love watching it unfold, whether it's men or women. I have a masterful mind for strategy. And I mean, it's a lot of fun, the work that I do.
I love, first off, I have to say that I'm a huge fan. Only in the last 24 hours having met you, I'm a huge fan. What you're doing is admirable. especially in the social climate of the past 3-4 years, that it has really come to a forefront about the alpha female and about the women who are finally taking, I shouldn't say finally, that's not the right word, women who are allowing themselves to take control of their lives. I think that's admirable and fantastic. And I have to admit, being that guy, I didn't have it in my head. It wasn't something that I thought about. And over the course of the last 3 years, because of everything that's gone on, I've really found myself being very introspective about my relationship with women, my attitude with women, my presence with women. And that's why I immediately, when it was done yesterday, I said to Will, we have to have her on the show because this voice needs to be heard, and it needs to be heard by as many people as possible.
And what I'll say is that I mean, RJ knows my wife, but my wife is totally a feminist, and which is awesome. And so, not that I would have needed to get any sort of like education about that, because I've always had respect. And I have to tell you that when Obama came in office, I can tell you the very first bill he signed, and that was the Ledbetter Act. And that was the first thing that the previous administration got rid of. And so, with that being said, you know, I've always, my standard, I used to be a humorist, and I would be a political and social humorist. And one of my sayings I coined was, behind every great man is a woman in front of him with his car keys and directions so he doesn't get lost. Because without my wife, I'd be walking into walls. And right now, I'm sure she's looking at me going, did I iron that? Did she, not her, me. But so it is, what you're doing is awesome. I want to switch directions and talk about your performance stuff as an actor, and your husband is a filmmaker, and you have the best setup and great colors on what you're doing. Let's talk about that. LA, I just got done with a self-tape on a big commercial audition that I did. You know it, I know it, RJ knows it, that what we're doing here is not going away. And what we're doing here is determining how they look at us. Because I was doing a self-tape, a callback, and I was on it, and they clicked on, and they went, "Hey, Will, whoa, dude, you got the best. You get the award for the best setup." And to me, as you well know, whether it's for an episodic, or if it's a commercial or whatever it happens to be, that's a big deal for them to go, "Whoa." So what's your thought on all of that technology and what we're doing? I'm going to sit down.
It goes back to first impressions. I think it really does go back to first impressions when you think about, you know, what you're wearing to a networking event or what you're wearing to an audition. I think that people who are auditioning now or having interviews, instead of just only considering what you have on from the waist up, only considering, oh, my hair is done and my shirt is done, they have to really start to consider what they look like on camera, what their camera setup looks like. How is that being perceived? I mean, RJ, you get great tips about not having the camera going up your nose. Even when I talk to people about dating online, thinking about your first impression is not only about your teeth being brushed, your hair being done, and the right shirt.
Oh, we're supposed to do that part?
Yeah, you're supposed to do that part. But it's
I don't have to worry about the hair, so we're okay.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that part. But it's really important to add that as, you know, another thing, that a box that you can tick. Adding what does my camera look like? What do I have the proper lighting? You know, now you can get ring lights that aren't even that expensive. No. So you can buy a window, put yourself in front of a window. There is absolutely no excuse nowadays not to have the proper setup.
And you know,
now I love the fact that you've chosen to set up your broadcast in front of an actual scene. Is that an actual room in your house, or is it made for live stream? It is. Okay, great.
This is my office. This is my office.
Your plant, your baby Yoda plant.
My baby plant. I had never seen this. I really have to share this. I had never seen this kind of plant, you guys. Look how gorgeous.
Now, what kind of plant is it?
It's a begonia.
That's a begonia? It's going to flower and everything?
If I fertilize it, it'll flower. That's what I've read.
I got bad news.
Well, listen to us. We'll give you enough fertilizer.
Yeah, you know, I have bad news. I think that was actually there when they painted the walls, and so it's really just paint.
Whatever. No,
What I
Now,
want to bring
what
up.
what what is your preference, Natasha? What is your preference? Green screen or live background when you're shooting a self tape?
live background.
Great.
Whatever.
Yeah,
You want
I
to tell us
prefer
why,
live
or just
background.
Whatever.
What did you say?
I said, do you want to tell us why? Is it a preference, a very strong preference, or is it just because you don't want to put up a green screen?
Well, I feel like there's a more connection to what's natural. So like even in
Yeah.
our studio, we've chosen to put a gray wall. It's like that studio gray.
Right.
Yeah, so we put that in our studio, and I don't know. I like having something that's natural. You can see the outline usually for individuals. I mean, other people do it great, but everybody's not as good at it as the two of you. And
Well,
so
I
you
find that
see it.
I find that it's the depth of field. I try very hard to hide my background and make it look like it's further away from me when I can actually just tap it. It's right. I can't, it's right there. It's so close to
Well,
me.
then you've done a dang good job because you literally look like there's a wall way back there.
Fantastic. Woo! Thank God.
it's better than having the wall here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Anyway,
and quickly, I want to still talk about the self tape and what you're doing. Which do you prefer, using the microphone on your phone or laptop, or do you prefer actually setting up an external mic so they get a very crystal clear sound of you?
I like external mic. I love
Okay.
it removes the echo. I don't have one on now, just so y'all, because you could probably tell. But let me just clarify that.
you know that gymnasium sound? Yeah, we got. So let me ask you, in regards to technology, one of the things I find a lot with my Los Angeles friends or New York friends is they call me up. I'm the guy I get a call. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, well, hold on, let me help you. And I get a lot of my actor friends, I would say 90%. And by the way, when they get into the age group that we are, I've been at auditions where I was at an audition, it was a dance audition. And after I got done, there was about 25 people and they were probably my age. And I heard them talking, oh, I hate that self-tape stuff. I think it's horrible. I can't connect with people. And by the way, I can't even turn on my phone. And I'm thinking to myself that probably 90% of the people I know in Hollywood cannot operate their phone, the basic usage of a phone. Can I ask you, did you set up your stuff? Do you know how to plug things in? Do you know how to work the situation to your benefit?
To my benefit, do I know how to work them? Yes, but I'm sure I could learn so much more. I'm sure I could learn so much
Why
more.
you're here.
I'm always Googling and looking at YouTube. And then my husband is so, meticulous about that. So sometimes I'm like, just do that, honey. But it's crazy how people say that they can hate one thing. It's kind of like someone saying they want to be married, but they hate dating and they complain about it all the time. It's like,
Right.
you want a job, don't you? So
Yeah.
you're going to have to like this stuff and change your mindset.
Yeah.
And sadly, or not sadly, I think this is the future of auditioning.
Yeah.
I think this is where auditioning is going, because they've actually got a plan now that works, and they don't have to have 300 fat guys showing up for one role. They can have 300 people either send in a tape or do a live audition via Zoom or whatever channel they do it, and never have to see people again until it comes time for them to put them in a trailer and get them in the makeup.
300? Mm-hmm. You mean 3,000? I did the statistic check because I used to have a show called Acting Up Radio for about 7 years, where I interviewed like Lana Vinker, Grimm, David Rappaport, Supergirl. And so I did this on purpose because now I can email them and go, hey, you want to be on the show? And I don't have to grovel like the other actors. But the bottom line is that they said the same thing across the board. Number one, they said that we don't care if you can do this. This is a benefit to you. And then I also have a tip on, if you're doing a self-tape, that if you want to be, because people are like, how do you get people to read for your self-tape stuff if you're doing a scene? I go, I voice it. And they go, what? I go, I use a teleprompter. I use my script. So I get mine in like that. So I read it a couple times and I watch when I'm reading the people's stuff. I don't do it. And I go, well, you know what? I'll be there next week. Well, what do you mean? And so then I plug it in on posts and do all that stuff. But the point is that the casting director said that we believe that all this stuff that's happening with the virtual stuff is the way to go. I think they were afraid for a little bit and didn't have a choice because of COVID. They were afraid that they were going to lose kind of their jobs because you're at a place they go to. And if they go to the cast, if they go to the director or the production says, we want you to bring in 500 people to read for this under five, then they're going to go like, well, they don't come here. How do I work? Now everybody's kind of become comfortable about that. And yeah.
It's really a mindset though, because the casting director's job is so invaluable. I mean, they are the gatekeeper. They have such an eye for the type of people that they're going to choose. So there's absolutely no way that production could not have casting. It just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Right. It would not work like the well-oiled machine that production is.
And I'm sure that, you know, through all the iterations of the audition that we do for a single role, it's still going to come down to eventually going and reading in person.
Yeah, in most cases. Or it's really going to matter, like, who you know.
Yeah, it does. Well, it's always been that. I mean, there is a little bit of nepotism. We hire the people that we know and like. Of course, they have to do the job right. You know, you're not just bringing in, well, in most cases, you're not just bringing in the random person. But I feel like you're going to have to just succumb to this thing, accept it, learn from guys like you know, because you broke it down to very simple. Right. Yeah, you broke it down. You was pop locking over there, Will. And there's absolutely no excuse to not lean into this, because that's the sign of the times. My
embrace the technology.
Yeah, my husband's booked without having to go live, you know, so, and we have friends who booked just one tape. So it's really important to just accept that this is what it is, and don't make this another barrier. Auditioning is hard enough as it is. Mm-hmm. Don't make just your lighting and not wanting to do video another excuse not to lean into your dreams.
Well, COVID happened, and I kind of just got a lot of my friends calling me up, whether it was my voiceover friends, because I have a voiceover studio, or doing this on camera stuff. And they said, you know, again, how are you working so much? I went, well, you know, I've always had this, and I've been doing this anyway. But the bottom line is that I think COVID has probably knocked out at least 50% of the actors that are in the country, especially in LA, because they just went, what am I going to do? I don't have a waiter's job, which I've never done because I'm not that organized. But the point is that all these little variables, not being able to do it, not being able to get most of the I know go, well, I have to be able to pay for a self-tape place, and then I got to have someone edit it and so on. And I'm like, you can't do that now. They go, no, you can't. So that's why, again, you got to set up your thing. Take the power yourself. One thing I'll leave you with, folks, is, of course, Natasha is our guest, McCrea. I want you to just say one place again where we can go to check you out. And do you have any kind of, I think you have a book, don't you?
Yes, I have a book, I have a course, but I really want to let people know that it's not even just the logistics of what you need. It's really mindset as well. That's huge. You can reach me at natashamccrea.com. That's NatashaMccrea. I would love to stay connected. I do a lot of inspiration, motivation, mindset type of talks throughout the week. You can just come on. I have a lot of content that I offer out there for free. So I look forward to connecting with you guys.
We will put it on the website as people can check you out. We always do a profile, usually this video, and then about you, and click through to you. You know what? We just want people to get in touch with people that are interested in making themselves better to help make other people better. So we appreciate your time. Our best, one last thing I want to ask you is that I always ask people, what's the best four-letter word in the English language is free. So what little bit of free advice would you give people if you were to give it right now?
Especially for the people that are watching you and they want to learn about having your own setup. Remember that you have to shift your mindset. I mean, that's the main thing. It's not only the type of light that you get or the type of mic that you get. It is really, are you worthy of going after this goal and this dream that you have set forth for yourself? Because if you truly believe that you deserve it, you're going to do whatever it takes to get there.
And bingo was his name-o, Natasha McCrea. We appreciate you coming on the show. We'll probably have you on again. We should give you a segment like awesome person in a great scene and in Los Angeles. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you again soon, okay?
Bye, Natasha. Thank you.
All right. Hey, RJ, hold on a
Yo,
second. There you are. So let's end the show
hi.
here because this is the longest show we've had. And I just want to say that we
Is
really
that because of the
appreciate.
mistake at the beginning?
Yeah, yeah, that was
Yeah,
good. The first show we did today,
that
dude,
was
off
fantastic.
off off
Woof,
track.
woof,
Awesome.
woof.
Anything you want to leave us with?
I just want to go back to what Natasha was saying. You need to embrace the technology. Just do it. Just embrace it. Embrace. We're all going through new, strange, and different bullshit right now.
Yeah,
Embrace it. If there's something you don't understand, learn about it.
yeah.
If you really don't understand it, call us. We'll help you. That's what we're here for. But just embrace it. I hate being on camera like this. I can't stand being live. Although I do love live performance,
Yeah.
I don't like being live on a camera. I'm embracing it. I'm moving forward. I'm using my knowledge of being an actor and a director and bringing it into this. Much
Yeah.
like Will and I have been producing, Will's bringing his producing work into this as well. And so that's what we're here for. And that's what I want to leave you with. Just embrace the technology and accept the change that's happening.
And one thing I want to say, just my ending statement here, my summarizing of everything is that you and I have, and this is something that we just want to let you know that is sort of a philosophy that we think will really works, especially in our industry, but in business as an entrepreneur, as a business person. I don't care if you're a CEO or someone that's just starting out doing a business, is that you do have to adapt, bob and weave. RJ and I, to put it bluntly, have had our lowlights in our careers. And as a performer, it's a very difficult track to go on. We did the fair circuit. We've got great stories about that and some other things we've done. And we now have risen to sites like we have both worked for the top people. Only 5,000 people have worked for Cirque du Soleil. And we really worked really hard to get there. The point of what I'm saying is that a lot of what we do right now, RJ, I pulled him back in and I go, let's do this. RJ, I can always depend on. And I go, let's do this and you should do this. And he's like, I got it. And he does the extra mile, as I do, to learn about these things or these things or these things, because it really does depend on our success or failure. So really, you gotta bob and weave, because if you're sitting in your home eating Cheetos going, now what am I going to do because I'm stuck in my home and I don't have a career and I don't have the money? Look, you got to do something, because we both know what it's like not to have this, and that's not okay. All right,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, everybody. Check us out. And by the way, check out the articles on our wonderful guest today, Natasha. And we'll see you next time. It is, and here's your host. I am Will Roberts.
I am RJ Owens.
We'll see you next time. Be safe, be
Bye.
well, wear a mask. Bye bye. Oh, that was her. She's gone. Will Roberts here, the Honest Huckster. Today I want to tell you about a wonderful, amazing, outstanding, colorful, new variety virtual extravaganza vaudeville show. Say that 10 times fast. Anyway, this is a one-of-a-kind show where there are 3 performers. There's an opening act, Mike Powers, who is an award-winning magician. And, by the way, he's our close-up opening act. He's amazing, engaging, and just a darn nice guy. Then we have Faust. Faust is an award-winning magician as well, who does an amazing style of magic with pantomime. The wall, the ball, all your favorites. He's also an amazing professional magician. Color, lots of fun, and more. And then, of course, there's me, the Honest Huckster. I'm the variety part of the show. Former Cirque du Soleil act, a 2-time Guinness World Book of Records holder for trick roping, gun spinning, whips, and also, I'm a professional magician. I'm the medicine show magician, the huckster, the hustler. You know, check for your wallet. Your customized show will be a virtual extravaganza, whether it's a party, a birthday party, an anniversary, or a corporate event. We can bring our show to the comfort of your own Zoom. I get it. Zoom, like, anyway. Oh, and once you see our Zoom studios, they're amazing. You'll see the beautiful graphics we have, overlays, and we can even customize the show and brand it with your logo. This way your audience feels that it is a show that you have created just for them. So bring a touch of magic and excitement and vaudeville to your next virtual gathering. Just click on the link below and let's have some fun. Now, I gotta get out of here.